Wow, so I forgot to turn my microphone on. Let's go back to the start. I am so sorry about that. Gotta love technology, but that was definitely a user error on my part. So we'll go back and I'll talk about the forecast. You can actually hear me at this point. So over the next few hours, we are going to be staying mainly in the low 90s. Plenty of sunshine expected throughout the rest of our Tuesday. And if you have any plans this evening, the humidity is also going to stay pretty low as well. Overnight tonight, temperatures will continue to drop into the 70s, and a few inland areas will be back into the upper 60s by early Wednesday morning, right around the sunrise. If you're up, out and about at that point, should be feeling almost just as nice as what it was earlier this morning. Blue skies, sunshine all across the coast. Looks like we've got a few high thin clouds out there in the distance, but it's a beautiful day to be outside. Still hot in the sunshine, but it feels pretty nice in the shade. We're at 89 currently in Gulfport at the airport. Heat index right now at 90, just 1 degree above the actual temperature. We have dew points in the low 60s on the coast. It's not very common in the month of August we can see those dew points that low. And compared to this time yesterday, our temperatures are also a few degrees cooler. Our average high for this point in the year is right around 90 for the coast for Gulfport. Our temperatures pretty close to what we expect for this time of the year. However, with that lower humidity, the heat index has been much more manageable. So compared to this time yesterday, looking at dew points, they're about 10 degrees lower. And you can definitely notice or feel that more comfortable feel in the air today. Now, New Orleans, Lake Charles, they are still seeing some dew points in the 70s, much more muggy over there. But Gulfport, Mobile, Pensacola, dew points low 60s, 59 dew point up into Hattiesburg. Like I said, it's not too common in the month of August we can see that lower dew point. Now, it is still pretty hot, especially across the Gulf Coast with temperatures upper 80s and low 90s. Notice how much cooler it is up into parts of Arkansas and even into North Mississippi. They have been seeing quite a bit more cloud cover today along with some showers. As for us, we are still going to be underneath some dry air. Not really expecting any rain today. In fact, we've seen pretty much nothing but sunshine this afternoon. And most of the rain is going to stay to our north overnight tonight. Now, we may see a few more clouds sneak in by early Wednesday morning. Rain chances still looking slim to none. So that boundary that really passed through yesterday has moved a little bit farther to the south, allowing some of that lower humidity, that drier air to move into South Mississippi. And it looks like tomorrow that drier air will continue to settle in across the Gulf Coast. The good news is we've got a few days left of this lower humidity, and because it's going to be drier in the at the surface, we will be able to cool down a little bit more by Wednesday morning. So right around the sunrise tomorrow, we're going to be back into the upper 60s and low 70s. Could see a few clouds. Rain chance is still looking pretty much slim to none. Not really expecting much rain. By tomorrow afternoon, more sunshine in the forecast. It's going to feel pretty comfortable outside for the end of August with temperatures in the upper 80s for the most part. We'll have a little bit of a breeze out of the north and northeast. And then on Thursday, that lower humidity sticks around a little bit longer. We'll cool back down into the upper 60s and low 70s again in the morning. Maybe even some mid-60s a little bit farther inland. And by Thursday afternoon, we're back into the upper 80s and low 90s. Should still feel fairly comfortable, but that is going to change once we get into Friday and Saturday. That's when not only does the humidity get higher, but our rain chances are also going to be increasing. At least through Thursday, really not expecting much rain, but that will change Friday and Saturday. We've already got a pretty good chance of seeing some showers and thunderstorms at that point. Some of that rain may linger into Sunday and Monday for Labor Day. There's some details we need to work out for that, but Friday and Saturday at this time, we're getting a little bit more confident that we are going to be seeing some rainfall. Now, Saturday marks the first day of college football for many schools across the country. That includes MSU and Southern Miss, which, by the way, they play each other on Saturday at 11 o'clock in Hattiesburg. If we see some of those showers, it may not be the best game day forecast. However, if we have more cloud cover around the area, that's going to prevent us from getting too hot in Hattiesburg. Kickoff is at 11 a.m. By the afternoon, we may only warm up into the mid-80s, but the flip side is there's a decent chance we're going to be seeing some showers, maybe even a few thunderstorms across the area. Farther to the north, Ole Miss is kicking off their season playing Georgia State. Their kickoff is in the evening at 6:45. Up into Oxford, the forecast is looking pretty nice. Temperatures starting off in the 70s in the evening, maybe even dropping into the 60s later that night by the end of game time. So Oxford, Ole Miss forecast looking pretty good, not quite as good up into Hattiesburg on Saturday. We'll keep you posted though. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be heading out to Hattiesburg this weekend, enjoying some college football. So once we get into Friday and Saturday, not only do our rain chances increase, we're likely going to see dew points back in the 70s. It's going to start to feel more muggy at that point. Well, it looks like we're wrapping up the last weekend of August with some humid air, but at least today, tomorrow, Thursday, the humidity not going to be too bad, making it feel much more comfortable outside. So we'll take any relief that we can get. As for the tropics, no concerns for the Gulf Coast right now. All that we're watching for the time being is Tropical Storm Fernand. That remains in the north central Atlantic. Still considered to be a fish storm. At 10 o'clock, winds were at 40 miles per hour. We say it's a fish storm because it's heading out to sea. It's not really going to be doing much over the next couple of days, and it looks like by the end of tomorrow it will be a post-tropical system and it will be fading away over the Atlantic. Now, usually at the end of August we see a lot of activity in the tropics. Thankfully, at this time, not much going on. I don't think a lot of us are complaining about that. We don't have any threats to the Gulf Coast at this time. However, we are still far from over with the end of hurricane season. Usually the peak of hurricane season in terms of how much activity we see is in the middle part of September. So things certainly could change between now and then, or even into early October, but at least this week there's not much to track out in the tropics. Now, as we know, this week commemorates the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. This is a look at the timeline of Katrina. As of today, 20 years ago, Katrina was making its way into the Gulf as a Category 1 hurricane, and of course, over the next couple of days, it rapidly intensified. So today, August 26th, was the day that Katrina entered into the Gulf, and this upcoming Friday, the actual day of landfall, the 20th anniversary of landfall, we will be having a 20th anniversary special that we are airing on ABC at 6 o'clock. Following that, Robin Roberts will also be having a Hurricane Katrina special program airing at 7 o'clock Central Time. So hopefully you can watch that. I know this is a very historic week for the Mississippi Gulf Coast and all that Katrina brought to it. However, thankfully, there are no tropical threats to the Gulf Coast at this time. So it looks like we will be wrapping up the month of August on a quiet note regarding the tropics. As for your marine forecast, if you're taking the boat out this evening, should feel pretty nice. Light chop expected, seas at about 1 to 3 feet. Sunset continues to get a little bit earlier at 7:25. Looks like we will be coming up on low tide throughout the early part of the evening. High tide will be happening overnight tonight. Our tidal range not going to be very big, about a half a foot, even less than that in Biloxi and Pascagoula. So today, tomorrow, Thursday, really nice weather. The humidity not too bad. Still going to be hot in the afternoons, but the mornings will feel really nice in the upper 60s and low 70s. Now it is going to start to get more muggy or muggier by Friday, Saturday. Some of that high humidity sticks around into Sunday. Friday and Saturday, we're already looking at a pretty decent chance of seeing some showers and storms, but at least through Thursday, hardly any rain is expected, and we may also see a few showers stick around into our Labor Day. So we will have another update on your forecast coming up at 4 o'clock today. Hopefully you can join us there. Not only that, we'll have the latest news going on in South Mississippi, so we hope to see you at 4 o'clock.